Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a collective reading for the Spring Equinox happening on Monday, March 20th, and also the new moon in Aries, which is happening on Tuesday, March 21st. So this is a combined collective reading, bringing in the energies of the equinox, the changes that are potentially happening as we align with these new spring energies, because the equinox does represent the birth of spring, the coming of spring, and that means that we will be having longer hours of daylight starting on the equinox, and this day in time represents new life, new light, new beginnings, planting seeds, and tuning in energetically. For me, I've been getting a strong sense that we are stepping into a new 3-year cycle, coming out of a cycle that started on the spring equinox, March 20th of 2020. And now whatever we have created, birthed, manifested, laid the foundation for, or all of the changes we've made in those last 3 years, we are essentially stepping up into a higher timeline as it relates to the new earth timelines. And we will hopefully be accelerating in our own ascension process and journey. Okay, so first I'm going to start with pulling cards for the spring equinox, and I have quite a few decks on my desk, but I was guided to this one. The first question I'm going to ask are, what are the energetic themes relevant to our collective ascension that are most important for us to be aware of from now until next year's equinox? So traditionally, the springtime is seen as the time of the new year. Because it's the time of new birth, the cycle is a new year cycle, essentially starting from this point forward. So I'm going to shuffle some cards to just get a sense of what the most important themes are for us to know about or be aware of. And before I barely even shuffled this deck, one of the cards flew out. But I'm going to get a few more, and the deck I'm pulling from is the Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reed. Alright, so I'm already fascinated by the cards that came out of this deck. Some of them I haven't even seen yet in this deck. So the first one that flipped out seems to be the overall theme I'm feeling and hearing, and it is card number 11, In Perfect Harmony. So right away, I'm hearing with this card coming into balance, coming into highest alignment with your highest vision, your highest timeline, your higher self, and your higher mission. And this is going to involve collaborating with others and having harmonious or more harmonious relationships and partnerships with others, but they keep emphasizing the word collaboration. So collaborating effect is what I'm hearing. This harmonious energy, the harmonious energies coming through in the next year are going to extend your ability to tune your vibration to those who are also of this higher timeline, who are also on this higher mission and path. And it's going to move you along in a way that's going to allow you to align with others, create and develop more harmonious working relationships, as it has to do with building the collective energy and momentum towards creating and birthing new projects related to the new earth, or that are going to be in alignment with these new earth timelines. So harmonious collective energy is what I'm hearing, and it feels like this is related to the starseeds and the light workers who are activated at this point. Most of us by now will have found our soul tribe or are in the beginning processes of finding our soul tribe and the community of light workers that we belong to, that will help us on our path, that will help us carry our missions forward. So as a collective of light workers and star seeds, we are really learning how to develop these harmonious working relationships. And I feel this theme will continue because I feel this was an important theme in 2022. But I do feel this theme will continue on into this new cycle. And we're just going to get ever and ever closer, drawing these people into our lives, twin flames included, these divine unions and partnerships with our spiritual brothers and sisters. And they're also showing those who are working collectively on the other side of the veil, the ascended masters, our spirit guides. We're going to get to know each other better and learn how to relate to each other in a way that's going to have a harmonious effect on the collective energy, on the collective scale. And this is going to allow more of us to come together in these bigger units of what they're showing me is collective energy that's going to bring more peace and harmony and a sense of balance and integration back to the earth. And when they're talking about that, they're talking about Mother, Father, God, bringing that divine masculine and divine feminine back into harmony with nature again. So that's really the collective theme, is what I'm hearing, of this new year cycle. And what it's going to bring into our lives is more harmonious relationships and co-creative experiences. So the next card coming out is Into Me I See. And this card is all about getting to know ourselves. Know thyself, Jesus always says. That is his main teaching and message, for us to really go within for answers. And this is what we're being guided to do here. So it feels like as a collective, we are going to be seeking more answers from within ourselves, but we are going to be relying less on others to tell us what is true for us, and we are going to be relying more on our higher selves to guide us, our intuition to guide us, our inner knowing and calling to guide us in our own process of awakening. And that's for the higher collective. So it feels like going within is really going to be the way to stay tuned to the highest frequencies and changes that are taking place or wanting to take place, because that's what's required for us to step into our sovereign power and to speak our most authentic truth. It's hard to hear our inner voice when we are clouded with beliefs and paradigms and thoughts that don't represent who we are on a soul level. So that's the message that really wants to come through right now. And that's going to be the greater message that the collective is going to need to hear or become aware of to really step into their power. And that's on an individual level, but there's a soul calling to remember oneself, to remember one's own power, to remember one's own authentic voice, and to speak that truth clearly in a way that allows the answers to come up from within, for one to have that sense of inner knowing, trust in their own heart's wisdom to align with their highest path. That's what will be necessary moving forward. So anybody looking externally for answers will have a difficult time finding their own truth, is what I'm hearing. I also got the card Endless Possibilities. And they're saying to me with this, in every moment, there's endless possibilities. In every moment, we have the opportunity to step more present into the now. And so presence, awareness of the present moment is going to really be what's going to take us into those higher possibilities where everything is available to us in any given moment. It's just our ability to be able to see clearly what those options are in any given moment. And that means staying tuned to the present moment, staying tuned to your higher self. And I'm hearing staying calm and centered within. So meditation as a practice is encouraged by your guides to really clear your mind and clear your self-limiting beliefs. I'm hearing because the potentials are high for you to achieve your highest outcome at this point in time with the way the ascension is moving forward. That is how we are essentially being guided to align with these new earth timelines. They are the highest path for all of us to inherit God's kingdom, I'm hearing. So, and they're talking about Christ consciousness. So this is a collective calling to all to really see the truth in the moment, but to remain present in your own awareness of how you're feeling at any given moment. And so this is an important teaching that it feels will be coming in heavy and strong this next year for those to wake up, or for those who are ready to wake up to really get real with themselves in how they are honoring themselves in any given moment, in honoring their truth is what I'm hearing, so that they can wake up to see all of the possibilities and how they can step into their power as creators and co-creators of the new earth. And the other card that came out was Time Machine, which is a card I don't think I've ever seen or read. So I'm feeling guided to read the guidebook on this one. But I'm hearing interdimensional travel is what I'm hearing. And timeline travel, so timeline jumping. Being able to see the past, being able to see the future in the present moment. And that's part of what the present moment focus is about, is what they're saying. And I'm also hearing, as I'm still looking it up in the book, as I'm hearing this and channeling this, but it feels like they're showing me that your soul knows the way. Your soul is guiding you to how to experience life in a new way, to experience yourself in a new way, to become aware of your capability to jump into different dimensions, to see yourself from different multiple perspectives is what I'm hearing. As you go into your meditation, as you go into your dream state and your astral traveling, things like that, where you activate your Merkaba, you're able to then really be able to see yourself from these different higher perspectives is what I'm hearing. So time travel is possible, but I'm interested in what this card actually wants to share on it. Key concepts: inherited patterns, conditioning, lessons already learned, cellular memory, honoring the past without being trapped there. We rely on stories we inherit from our ancestors, our families, our culture, and the world around us to construct a map of our reality. As we develop new stories in life, we build on those old foundations, repair them when we can, or tear them down to begin again. The best and most powerful traits and experiences of your ancestors are yours to integrate into your life, so you don't have to revisit their hardships or rectify their mistakes. You have a magical map with which to navigate your current circumstances. Look to the past for answers now. Ask yourself, in this situation, what can I learn from those who came before me? What traits can I emulate in order to move through this challenge with wisdom? How can I build on what I already know and integrate this understanding? What might I do differently? Sometimes you walk blindly into traps set in the past. Perhaps you couldn't see that you were repeating a pattern until you were well in it. The best course of action here is to rest, practice self-compassion, and make a conscious choice to do something differently next time. Clarity will come. Remember that if you do what you always did, you'll get what you always got. History repeats itself only if you allow it. The most important thing is that you are becoming aware. You can make a different choice regarding how you respond to life right now. Yes, things can be awkward and uncomfortable as old hurts are revealed and new solutions are attempted. The time is ripe for change, so keep going. Every step is important. Allies will rally, but in the end, you are the one you've been searching for. One day you will remember how your beautiful new story was just around the corner. Wow, that just feels like a good summary of all of the messages I just shared as really the most important thing to remember, especially with the spring equinox, is that we are creating our own story. We are the writers of our own story. And the past can sometimes be beneficial to help teach us lessons that we don't need to repeat the mistakes of our ancestors, but also sometimes we can get stuck in old paradigms and beliefs that are no longer relevant to what we want to create and where we are going. So this is all about future outcomes and really highlights the need to bring in clarity around your ideas and visions when it comes to what you want to create, and understanding what your limiting beliefs are and how those might be affecting you in any given moment. And also being willing to release those beliefs, but also being willing to see the strengths of your ancestors and those who have come before you, those who have been successful in achieving what you are wanting to achieve, and how to master that. So learning the ways to master what some of your problems are or appear to be, or some of your blocks are or appear to be. There's always a lesson in it. There's always a message in it of learning and growth and expansion. And so really every moment has its blessing, is what I'm hearing, and has its gift that has the ability to empower you and motivate you and inspire you forward. And right with that, I'm feeling a pull to bring in the new moon in Aries energy, because that is essentially the energy that Aries brings to the equation, an energy of fire, because it is a fire sign. But the feeling I was getting as I was sharing that is an energy of empowerment that comes through courage, boldness, and confidence. Also a passion for purpose. Aries are action-oriented. It's an action-oriented sign, a very driven sign, ambitious sign. It has a lot of restless energy, however. So movement tends to be key with Aries. They tend to be quick with wanting to move to the next thing. But they are very passionate and confident in what they do. So these are qualities that the new moon is bringing into the equation. I'm hearing to help us shift into that higher timeline energy in a bold way, in a way where we are confident and feeling strong and feeling empowered about everything that we can create for that next year's cycle. So I'm going to pull some cards from my Moonology deck for the new moon in Aries and how this energy is specifically guiding our ascension process at this time as a collective. Okay, so I had 3 cards come out, and then I was guided to look at the bottom of the deck for a clarifier card or for an added explanation. And the first card that's coming out the strongest of these cards is the North Node card, saying step out of your comfort zone. So that's just the general feeling that I feel how we're being guided right now, is to really get past our fears and blocks, get past the resistance, and move in a direction that is going to push us a little bit out of our comfort zone, because that's where the new beginnings are, is what I'm hearing. That's essentially where the new birthing process is taking place. It's not where you are standing right now. It's somewhere over there, which is a little bit out of your comfort zone. So there's going to be a little bit of fear involved that you're going to have to face your truth head on. I'm hearing not face your fear head on, but face your truth head on, meaning they want you to see yourself. They want you to look yourself in the mirror and see who you really are. See yourself as that powerful being of love and light. See yourself as that warrior, that knight energy. And here would be a good time to call on King Arthur to have his support as a guide, because he's really going to strengthen you and give you that courage to step into the unknown a little bit and embrace the fear. I'm hearing embrace that as part of you, as part of the change that wants to take place within you. There are fears that are ready to be let go of, that are holding you back. So they want you to look at the ways that you feel you're being held back. But I'm also getting the card adjustments are required. And that's just going along with that message as letting you know that there are some things that you're going to have to drop. There are some ideas or mindsets or beliefs or patterns or ways of thinking or doing and behaving that are ready to be completely let go of and transformed, in order for you to be transformed into that new version of yourself that is on that higher timeline already, that already exists on that higher timeline, that's waiting to be reborn again, essentially. I also interestingly got the card come out, a new romantic cycle begins. So collectively speaking, they're saying this is just a sign that new partnerships are going to be formed. And that means new romantic partnerships as well for those who have been struggling to find resonance with your current partner. This is going to be more relevant for those who are also seeking the twin flame reunion or union to come into fruition. I'm hearing that this new spring equinox energy brings in the birth for creation as it relates to harmonious relationships. So because that's an energetic theme, it feels like spring ushers in those new romantic cycles. So they're showing me that springtime is usually a more common time to meet someone new. So it just feels like, collectively speaking, it's a good opportunity to meet someone new during this particular time. And I feel like I've channeled that in messages like last year, even around this time. But it's interesting that that seems to be a common theme around spring, is new relationships forming. I'm hearing the energy is high to magnetize those new relationships into your life. So if you are someone that's single and looking, it might be a good opportunity to pay attention to who comes in to your life at this time. And lastly, the card that was on the bottom of the deck is your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. So this is pretty self-explanatory. It basically means that we need to ground the energy that's coming in. I'm hearing the fiery energy of Aries is very restless in nature. It has a lot of ideas. It has a lot of motivation and inspiration, but sometimes it's hard to ground those ideas into the practical because it wants to be on the go, 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 or it's just so ambitious in nature that it's quick to want to create those ideas, but it needs a master plan is what I'm hearing. It needs a little bit more of the grounding energy that Taurus brings, or some of the other earth signs like Virgo, which was where the full moon energy was a couple weeks ago, brings. So just remember, always have a practical plan. You don't have to have it all laid out, they're showing, but you definitely want to have some steps in mind, or at least the next couple of steps outlined, or a sense of where you're going. They're saying a sense of a roadmap. It's funny, I'm hearing in case there's closures ahead is what I'm hearing. So the sense is like, have a general roadmap of where you're going, but know that there could be closures ahead. There could be closures on that path. So always be prepared to reroute at a moment's notice. So it feels like even having multiple strategies in mind of ways you can accomplish certain things. The sense is like you don't want to get too stuck on it having to be one way. They want you to be open to know that as one door closes, it's helping you direct your flow in a different direction. So they want you to go with the flow and the path of least resistance, but they want you to have some idea of a plan that can be changed as you move along, because things are just shifting and changing too fast. It feels like the collective momentum, you're going to constantly getting new ideas and integrating new concepts that are just going to be leading you in different directions, in different ways. So you don't want to be too hard set on how you get there. So I do want to wrap up the collective reading by pulling some cards from my Kyle Gray Gateway of Light activations deck to just get a sense of what activations are taking place around this time, because there is a lot of energy coming through, and I know that we're birthing a new cycle here, moving into a new 3-year cycle. And wow, I have to laugh because this card came out, it was probably the last reading I did. Yeah, I think it was the full moon in Virgo. This card flipped out almost the same way it flipped out just now. And when I thought of pulling cards from this deck earlier, before I started this reading, I got an image of this card come up right away. It was like, the feeling was like I knew this card was going to come out again, because it's just such an important theme is what I'm hearing. And it's the Temple of Truth card, throat chakra, authenticity, self-expression. I mean, this is really what it's about, and I've been noticing this in my own life. I mean, my guides are really pushing me to get real with who I am and what my truth is and how to be my authentic self. And it's a tuning process. I will say personally, it's a tuning process, because there's a lot of outdated beliefs. There's a lot of outdated identities or attachments that you have to certain things that just don't serve you anymore. And as you are shifting and letting go of those, you're constantly having to reassess and reevaluate, who am I now? And then you're learning more as you go through this ascension process, as you're waking up to having memories or activations that are helping you to see your own spiritual gifts and powers. And so essentially that's the greater theme that's going to continue, obviously, into this 3-year cycle, this 1-year cycle, and it's just going to be a dominant theme moving forward. So all of the ascension waves coming through right now are essentially helping to activate us in the ways that we step into our authentic truth and our authentic power. So throat chakra, very important. If you feel blockages in there, you might want to focus on meditation and bringing in the blue sapphire energy, that particular crystal energy, or just that light energy, and Archangel Michael, and I'm hearing the Sword of Excalibur can really help you. If you had a chance to watch the King Arthur channeling that I did, he talked a lot about that and how that connects you to the divine, and he's all about spoken word and the power of the spoken word. King Arthur is. So tune into your throat chakra, I'm hearing, and see if there's any blockages or any resistance there that might need a good energetic clearing. All right, so the next card that came out is Star Gathering, stars aligned, remembering home, soul family. Wow, this really aligns with the earlier message about harmonious relationships as an important theme. This is, again, similar message. More and more of us are going to be activating and remembering our starseed heritage and activating our DNA. So in that way, we are going to be remembering more of the truth of who we are, where we came from, why we came to Earth, what our missions are, and who our soul family is. So beautiful card there to know that we are connecting more and more to our star family is also what I'm hearing. So that's what activations are. These activations are helping us to remember and do. All right, so the last 2 cards that came out as far as important activations taking place are, the one card here is the I Am Presence, light body activation, accessing the divine within. So this is true of pretty much all the ascension waves that we feel, it's all about our light body activation. We have our physical body, it's connected to our light body, it's our higher self, it's what's connected to our higher self, it's what feeds our energetic system in terms of the energy that we absorb and the light quotient that we are able to carry. So when our light body is activated, it also means that more of our spiritual DNA is turned on. It means more of our memories can come back online. More of our spiritual gifts and powers can come back online. We are then able to connect into the higher crystalline grids, which power us up. And that's what the second card is showing. The second card that came out is Star Being Healing Codes. Important information, wounds are healed, recharging. The word that's standing out though is recharging, because essentially these activations are all about helping us to recharge our batteries and raise our consciousness and vibration in a way that's going to allow us to hold and embody higher quotients of light. And that is what the light body activations are for. And that results in us standing in our power, stepping into our I am presence. So it's all interconnected and interrelated. So I am getting the sense that this is going to be a continuing process as we go throughout this year, but it's happening right now. And so they're just wanting you to be aware of the differences and how you feel from where you were this time of year last year and where you are now on your spiritual growth process, because it's unique to all of us, but you've all made strides in your growth and your acceleration of your ascension, and even of your awareness of how ascension works and what this process is becoming for you, and how you've stepped into your own power and sovereignty or come to know your own truth more this past year. So they want you to do some reflection on that, and then to really take some time during this new moon and new start cycle to meditate with those energies, or even tune into your light body and ask your higher self questions about your light body activations. What is needed to align with these higher energies, or what has already come into balance in a sense, so you can get a sense and feel. They're actually also showing me to just sort of perceive or tune your awareness to your light body so that you can get a sense and feel of what your light body feels like, and then bring in the higher vibrational energy to help you feel your light body being activated. And then it feels like the more you do that, almost like a body scan, but you're working with your light body, you're going to be able to see like any holes or any areas of distortion, or where there's maybe restriction in the flow, and you can focus more of your attention on those areas. But those areas will also show up as symptoms in your physical body that could manifest as blockages, or in your chakras as blockages. But your light body is more than just your chakras. They're showing me it's how your whole system is connected to your own unique matrix or individual grid, crystalline grid structure, and it's related and connected to your quantum DNA. So the more light switches you turn on in your DNA, the more activated you are with your light body, and the more healing codes you are able to bring in, I am hearing. So they're saying ask for the codes that are right for you, that are necessary for your system to restructure itself in a way that is in highest alignment with your highest good and your higher self's original soul blueprint. So that's very interesting. A lot of good messages with that. So I am going to wrap up this reading here and pull one last card from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck, which has a very elemental nature vibe to it. And the card that came out is Butterfly Spirit Transformation. So I am going to read the message from the guidebook here. And I'm also noticing the number of the card is number 8, which represents abundance, and also the infinity sign for infinite possibilities. And the message says, in the sacred forest, you can hear their approach before they arrive. Listen, it's the songs of butterflies. Their melody trails behind them in ribbons of luminescent lights as their delicate gossamer wings flutter in a kaleidoscope of sound, color, and delight. Magic is afoot. You receive this card when you are in the process of change. Old structures, beliefs, and ideas are falling away to be replaced with vitality and new pathways. Soon you'll be seeing the world in a fresh way. You're at the beginning, in the middle, or at the completion of an enormous transformation in your life. Don't hold on to old structures and limited ways of thinking. Even if it looks as if you're in murky waters and things feel confusing, and even if it seems that everything is dissolving around you, this is only the clearing that occurs just before rebirth. It's all for your highest good. Remember, you are safe as these changes occur around you. The butterfly is a powerful metaphor for transformation. For it to gain its wings, the caterpillar must weave a chrysalis and then completely dissolve into a kind of liquid soup before reforming into the shape of a butterfly. Enzymes dissolve all of its tissues before it metamorphosizes into something completely different. So relax into the changes. You are bringing vibrant energy into the world. The spirit of the butterfly says, the past is behind you. Everything is changing. It's time to launch a new cycle, a new project. With care, miracles can abound. Well, I couldn't have picked a more perfect card if I had handpicked it myself. So thank you to all the spirit guides who assisted with this reading. For the extended reading, please check out the link in the descriptions box for my Patreon group, where I will be channeling into some of the messages that came out today to get more clarity around how the spring equinox and new moon in Aries energies are calling us to action in specific areas of our lives. Also, I'd love to hear if these messages resonate for you in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thank you all for listening. Wishing you so many blessings on your spiritual paths. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.